We will be right back with our next guest on Where Talent Meets Opportunity, a business show that is dedicated to providing small businesses quality business strategies and resources pertaining to all aspects of small business services, support services, and training.
Hi, we're here today with Lori sales artist. She is with Civility Management, and she's a small business in the local area here in Prince George's County. Welcome, Lori.
Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
So I hear you are a veteran.
Yes, I served 9 years in the United States Marine Corps.
In the Marine Corps?
Yes.
So where did you serve?
I got my first station at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, which was a reality check considering I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
They sent me to the sticks, which was a good thing, actually. Then I re-enlisted, and I went to Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii for 3 years. And then they sent me back to the swamps to Cherry Point, North Carolina, which was my last role of being active duty.
Excellent, excellent. So why Civility? Tell us how you started it, and heard a lot of great things going on with Civility right now.
Yes, it's exciting. We do have a lot of great things. Momentum is picking up. You know, when you're working in the government space, it is, you know, a long haul, it's a long marathon. And so it's good to see us now seeing some light at the tunnel. But I started Civility Management Solutions because I just happened on a job in federal government contracting, and I was assigned as a PM with another company overseeing some administrative staff. And I was like, this is cool, over at NIH, actually. And then after that, while I was there, actually, I got a call from someone that I knew and said, Lori, I need you for a position if you're available. And I'm like, well, this contract is about to end, so I will become available. And lo and behold, it was another contract position. So now I am in DOT. And I didn't apply for any of these jobs. They were just something that people knew me, they knew what I could bring to the table, and invited me in. And so I went in and did a great job. And even after about a year or so in DOT, I went to work in the corporate office. And after being in the corporate office, that's when everything kind of kicked in, because I've always been an entrepreneur. I have a minor in small business entrepreneurship and management from UMUC even. And so it just all came together. I'm like, this is the land that I need to stay in. So I love all the work. And so Civility, the name Civility came out because, as I stated, I'm a Marine. So I like decency and order and structure and, you know, rules and regulations and so forth and so on. And I didn't see a lot of that from the 128 staff that I managed for one of the companies I worked with. And I was pretty amazed at some of the communication that was held between me and somebody that worked for me. I won't even, you know, use the other term that we use in the military, but somebody that worked with me, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm like, do they know I'm their manager? So the people just didn't actually take on responsibility. They weren't respectful. They didn't know how to practice restraint. And those things kind of dug deep within me. And my husband one day said, Civility. I'm like, Civility, what are you talking about?
Wow.
And he said, Civility, that should be the name of the company. That's who you are, Lori. That's what you represent. So now I broke out the thesauruses. I didn't even go to Google. I went to thesauruses, start writing things down, you know, so I could paint the picture, and pulled all those synonyms out and said, wow, you know what? Civility does work. So hence, Civility Management Solutions was born.
Awesome, awesome. So I wanted to just take a couple of minutes and just elaborate on some of the actual services that you offer.
We have professional consulting, so we currently do training, also in the commercial space regarding veterans in the workplace. We've done some training with Army, U.S. courts is something that's coming up on leadership development. We have OD, we have career coaches as well, people that do the DISC and the Myers-Briggs test and things of that nature, human capital type of training. In addition to that, we have for finance. We have some auditors and some grants management people, and we have some folks that are working on some reconciliation, also in the area of finance. And then we have project program management going on as well on one of our contracts with DHS. And we're looking to get into some IT because we do bring a top secret facility clearance. And so we can also have that as one of our verticals. But we are a company that focuses on simplified acquisitions, which is one thing that I've learned that a lot of people don't want to focus on. So other than my check boxes, that's another thing I think that Civility brings to the table, is that we're here to serve in whatever capacity. As long as I'm providing a job and opportunity for someone, then I'm pleased with that.
Excellent. Now, I understand you're 8A certified.
Yes.
You received your first contract?
Yes, as of January 2012.
And how long did it take?
Within 120 days,
Okay.
we landed our first direct award.
You want to share some secrets?
And I would say it is all about the strategy of taking your time in this game of working with the government contractor. True enough, you need to build relationships. Like they say, people like to do work with folks they know, like, and trust. That's very true. They say it all the time. We need to not just think that they're just saying it to be saying it. They say it because they mean it. And I didn't rush it. People were saying, Lori, get the waiver. You know, you can do a waiver and get your 8A quicker. I'm like, no, I want to get my 8A when I should get my 8A. So I waited things out. I consistently went after simplified acquisition so we can get our own prime past performance directly with the federal government. I had a subcontract come into place through a contact of mine. Used a company that I'm familiar with that had an 8A, so we got on board with that. So we started building up some basic ABCs of being in business, you know, doing taxes and the whole nine, having unemployment insurance, so that when 2 years had passed, we were ready to go after it. And actually, we've been in business for 4 years. I've been currently employed with Civility for 2.
Okay.
So with those 2 years, is the 2 years I'm speaking of. And so all the documentation that 8A was, or SBA was requesting, we had it. We didn't have to write anything to waive anything out. And over that time, I did my due diligence of going out, beating the blocks, going to the outreach sessions, meeting with contracting officers, meeting with the small business offices, so that they get to know me, specifically targeting the 3 to 4 agencies that we were interested in working in. And sure enough, the direct award is with not only the agency, but the component that I was interested in working with. So that's a big hoorah for me, because it's like we actually did this the way they say to do it, and it works. And we're about to start some work over in NASA, which is another agency that I'm interested in working with.
Now, I hear a lot. I can't begin to tell you how often I hear, I've had my 8A for 5 years. I've gotten no work. I've heard you say use the system. I've heard people say they've gone to tons of sessions. They've met tons of people, but they've made no connection. And I have also heard through kind of your testimonial today that you work the system. So it sounds like persistence.
Yes, tenacity.
Persistence.
consistent. You know, you can't just say, oh, they're not calling me back, or they're not emailing me back. Well, just email them again, call them again, go to the event again, see them, smile, shake hands, be friendly, for God's sake, even. I have to put that out there, because sometimes I look around and just the ambiance in general, people are like kind of sourpuss because either they're disappointed, they're not in yet, or whatever the case may be, instead of just bringing the light, you know, and letting people know that you are somebody that they should want to get to know. I think that's important. And present your best. You know, don't come in there as if you are just got off of the 9 to 5 and you're there. Be fresh and be sharp, you know, and be excited. I think some people miss the excitement because it's just, you know, it can be tiring. The government space is like, it's a lot. And if you can't really get into that area of comfort without being fake, then you actually kind of think, you need to think about doing something else. Because the long run of the federal government, that's not changing.
Right.
Now that I have my 8A, I got to ramp that up. I can't back down and go, okay, I have my 8A, everybody needs to just throw everything at me. No, now I got to go out more. Now I got to meet with people more. I got to smile more. I got to make sure people can receive me and understand really what I have to offer. So I'm always talking. And if you're not enjoying that, then you might be in the wrong area of work.
Okay, so how do you feel about partnerships? Because for our viewers that are out there, I'm sure that you all are very interested in finding out about partnerships. And to me, the partnership is not just having someone to work with, but it's building capacity. If you're out there and you want to build capacity with someone, talk to me a little bit about how you would build capacity with someone.
Well, Civility did learn very early on by attending SBA score sessions, PTAC, the importance of teaming partners, especially being new in subcontracting opportunities. Being a woman that's African American, that's a service disabled veteran, that has moved into a hub zone office, may I add, that really can check all the boxes makes me a candidate that some people will come after to abuse. But I've gotten myself well educated, and of course, I'm a little rough around the edges a little bit, so I'm not that kind of girl that you can just push around. But nonetheless, you got to take a stand with those guys because they will use and abuse all your socioeconomic statuses. So courting and dating. I have been doing a lot of courting and dating. My husband don't particularly care for me saying that, but that's what I've been doing a lot of. I've been doing a lot of courting and dating, sitting and spending time with people before I started to be in business with them. And I do have 2 teaming partners that I'm working with now on contracts that we have, and everything is well. And we're expecting to do more with them because everybody doesn't want to operate in integrity in this field. And I have heard, just like you said, the 5 years, 6 years, 7 years with their 8A. And I used to say to myself, I won't be one of those people. I just won't be one of those people. And I put my mind on that. And the same has to go where I will not be someone that any entity is going to take advantage of, including the large companies that I plan to, of course, at some point attach myself to. Being interested in mentor-protege relationships, being interested in JV, especially now as an 8A. I'm very much so interested in that. And I think anyone that really wants to see growth and some sustainability in this business will do themselves well by taking that route. And I feel good about that. Jacqueline Burnett is now pushing from SBA, the Associate Administrator, the whole mentor protege. She had a conference, the second one. It was fabulous. Great information for us to all understand how to do mentor protege relationships within the federal government.
Now I'm going to let you spill the beans on one last thing.
Sure.
Okay? Everyone who's a business owner absolutely has to have operating capital. Mm-hmm. Tell us what your experience was before you got your approval.
Wow, yeah, because I did get approval. That was like running around the house excitement. I'm like, I actually got an SBA 7A guaranteed loan. But it was a long haul, a lot of tested waters. I went through a broker, someone that knows the game, someone that advocates and fights for not just women, but also for veterans to make sure we get capital. So I had somebody on my side in my team, and I'll be connected to her for as long as she's living, needless to say. But it's a lot of your own money. Initially, my own savings or just denying myself. The period of time when I was employed and establishing Civility, I just started chunking a lot of money into my Civility Management Solutions business account. Mm-hmm. I set myself up with a young lady to start beginning to get credit for Civility Management Solutions, which is completely different than your personal, so that I do have a Dun & Bradstreet rating, Equifax credit rating with my company. So I started doing all of those things over 2 years ago, so that when I did have to go and ask to get some capital, mm-hmm. that at least I had all my ducks in order, But it is challenging for women. I don't understand it because I don't understand all the politics behind it, and it's even more challenging for veterans. And people got all these other means of getting funds to you, which, may be the route that you have to take. I don't come against factoring and asset-based lending if it's what you have to do. However, I will come against some of the high fees and some of the rates. And so my broker worked well with me even on that side, because I have both, to make sure that I'm not being charged daily, making sure that the percentage was not extremely high and that they didn't tack on all those fees. So that was getting a good deal until I build up enough capital for Civility to no longer need that, and then I can go strictly from the bank with like a line of credit.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Lori. I know our time is winding down and just about out. Would you like to have any closing remarks?
My closing remarks would be thank you for doing all that you do. I'm looking forward to working with you and your team so I can be one of your success stories, and also know that I will make certain that as many people as I come across are aware of what you are doing, specifically in Prince George's County, which is exciting to be in business in PG County at this time. Well, Prince George's County.
That's right.
Let me get to the new way to say things. It is a great time to be in business in this area, so I'm excited about that.
Well, we're so happy to have you here, and much success to you, Lori.
Thank you very much.
And your team.
Thank you for joining us on Where Talent Meets Opportunity. We look forward to taking your business to the next level and increasing your business bottom line in days, not months or even years. Until our next show.